Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to bust one of the biggest myths in leadership, and it's all based on the amazing work of Susan Fowler. We're going to dig into why pretty much our whole approach to motivation is just flawed, and more importantly, what the science says actually works. All right, let's get into it. So let's just kick things off with a pretty provocative question, one that probably goes against everything you've ever been taught as a leader. Why doesn't motivating people work? I mean, for years, we've been told that a leader's number one job is to motivate their team. But what if that idea is the very thing holding everybody back? You want a real-world example? Look no further than Billy Beane, the guy from the book and movie Moneyball. So back in 2002, the Red Sox came to him with this massive, historic offer. We're talking the highest salary ever for a GM, private jets, the whole shebang. They threw every traditional motivator you can think of at him. And what did he do? He said no. This just proves that the usual stuff, money, status, all those perks, they aren't the whole story, not even close. And here it is. This is the absolute key to understanding all of this. The reason you can't motivate people is because they already are. See, people are always motivated. The real question isn't if someone is motivated, but why they're motivated. The quality of that motivation is what changes everything. To really get our heads around that idea of quality, let's use a simple but really powerful metaphor. Think about motivation like it's fuel for your work. But, not all fuel is created equal, right? There's junk food motivation, and then there's health food motivation. And this breakdown really makes it crystal clear that junk food motivation is what we call suboptimal. It feels like pressure, right? It's driven by stuff outside of you, like a bonus or maybe just the fear of getting in trouble. Sure, it gives you a quick sugar rush, but it burns out fast. But then you've got the health food. This is optimal motivation. It feels connected to your purpose, your values, and it delivers the sustained, high-quality energy that just keeps you going. Let's take a closer look at that junk food menu. First, you've got the external outlook. That's when you're chasing a reward, like a carrot on a stick. Then there's the imposed outlook. That's when you're basically just trying to avoid feeling guilty or letting someone down. And finally, you've got disinterested, where the work just feels totally pointless and you're just checked out. These are the things that get you temporary compliance, but nothing more. Now for the good stuff, the health food. This is where people truly start to thrive. The aligned outlook is when you can connect what you're doing to a personal value that you really care about, like learning something new. The integrated outlook is even deeper. It's when the work connects to your core purpose in life. And my favorite, the inherent outlook, is the simplest one. You just do the work because it's genuinely fun and interesting. This is the fuel for real, sustained excellence. Okay, so if we want to start serving up this motivational health food for ourselves and our teams, what are the core ingredients? What are those psychological nutrients that every single one of us needs to flourish? Well, the science on this is incredibly clear, which is awesome. It really just boils down to 3 universal, innate psychological needs. When these needs are met, people thrive. When they aren't, well, they don't. It's that straightforward. First up is autonomy. This is our fundamental need to feel like we have choices, that we're the ones in the driver's seat of our own actions. Just think about a baby being fed in a high chair. What do they always do? They grab for the spoon. They want to do it themselves. That deep, deep need for control and choice, it never goes away. Second, we have relatedness. This is our need to feel a real, genuine connection, to care about other people and feel like they care about us, and to feel like we're part of something bigger than just ourselves. It's why a toddler will literally grab your face and turn it towards them. They're not just looking for your attention, they're searching for a real human connection. And number 3 is competence. This is the need to feel effective, to feel like we're good at what we do, and that we're growing and getting better over time. It's why a baby who's learning to walk will fall down 100 times, laugh, and get right back up. The joy isn't in walking perfectly. It's in the process of learning and mastering a new skill. So here's the bottom line. When these 3 needs, autonomy, relatedness, and competence, or ARC for short, when they are satisfied, people's optimal motivation just gets unleashed. You don't have to push them or bribe them. They become naturally energized and engaged. And this brings us to a huge problem with the way we normally think about management. This obsession with drive. We're always told you've got to drive for results. But honestly, that whole approach is actually really dangerous. Because what does driving really mean when you think about it? It means applying pressure. It creates tension. And that feeling of being controlled, of being pushed from the outside, is the exact opposite of what we all need to actually thrive. That pressure directly attacks our ARC framework. It absolutely destroys those three psychological needs. It erodes autonomy by taking away any sense of choice. It corrupts relatedness because people just start to feel like a tool, a means to an end. And it blocks competence by creating so much stress that it stifles creativity and makes it impossible to focus. So if driving people doesn't work, then what does? Well, here's the most empowering, most exciting insight from all of this research. Motivation isn't some magical thing you either have or you don't. It's a skill that you can learn. This is the big, actionable takeaway. You and the people you work with can consciously learn how to shift away from that low-quality junk food motivation and move toward a high-quality optimal outlook. You really can choose your motivation. And here's the simple 3-step skill for doing it. First, just identify your outlook. Are you feeling that external pressure? Are you feeling disinterested? Just be aware of it. Step 2, you actively shift your perspective. Ask yourself, how can I connect this task to a value I hold dear, to a bigger purpose? And finally, step 3, just reflect. Notice the difference. Feel the change in your energy when you move from that junk food to the health food. So what do I want you to take away from all of this? It's simple. Stop trying to motivate people. It's a losing game, and it actually undermines their very nature. Your real job as a leader is to create the conditions where people can motivate themselves. So instead of asking, how can I motivate my team? Start asking yourself something different. What am I serving them? Is it that quick, easy junk food of pressure and external rewards? Or is it the healthy, nourishing food of choice, connection, and competence? So let me leave you with this. What's on your motivational menu today?